Hi, I'm Joe Washington here at the Hebert Family Garden in Cobb County, and today we're going to talk about the upcoming Master Gardener Garden Tour and the 19th annual plant fair and plant sale. All right, coming up. Renee, are you busy doing a little pruning here?
I am, yes.
Okay. How long has the garden tour been going on?
This is our 16th year.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got 4 home gardens, a school garden, and a community garden.
Well, you know, our volunteers have been working really hard to get ready for the garden tour, which is May 12th. So how long has the garden tour been going on, Renee?
This is our 16th year. We do it every year.
Now, tell our viewers how the tour helps the public understand the role that we as Master Gardeners play in the community.
Well, the garden tour is to educate the community about horticulture. And when you become a certified Master Gardener, you are basically agreeing to become educated by UGA so you can be a certified Master Gardener, and then your role is to be an educated volunteer in the community. So our garden tour is educational. Every single place that people will stop on our tour, they will learn something.
Now, they'll get a chance to see a little bit of everything. Residential gardens, a school garden, and from what I understand, a community garden, right?
That's right. Do you remember back in the fall when you came out to Hyde Farm?
Oh, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
We built like, what, 40 raised beds? Right.
Which we have now added 10 more.
Exactly. I hope
because
that
we had
too.
a huge waiting list.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay.
So Hyde Farm and UGA Cooperative Extension in Cobb County and the Master Gardeners all partnered together, and we put in Hyde Farm Community Garden. And it has 50 beds, like we said, and that garden is going to be on the tour on May 12th. And we're doing a food demo that day at Hyde Farm.
Great. So even if vegetables are really not your thing, it gives you an opportunity to learn the role that vegetables play in your life.
That's right.
Yeah.
People may not want to grow their own vegetables or herbs, but they certainly do like to eat them.
Yeah. Now, what about the school garden?
The school garden is Murdoch Elementary School, and that garden is going to be on the tour, and that garden is really cool. And they use the garden for their curriculum, so they learn all kinds of things when they're out there in the garden, and they're really focusing on native plants. So and pollinators, bees and butterflies, so it's a really cool place. And they even teach the kids as young as kindergarten to start growing things from seed. So it's a really cool place to go.
Great. Now, all of that sounds really nice, but what if it rains?
Well, it's a rain or shine, you know. Like today, we're filming in March, and there's a chance of rain today, so I dressed for the rain.
Right.
It's rain or shine. This is our only big fundraiser for the year, and the money that the Master Gardeners make is money that we turn right around and throw back at the community in the form of our 16 demonstration gardens, and we're in 58 schools helping teach kids about horticulture. So, you know, put on your slicker and come on out.
Okay, now what about the residential gardens?
Well, why don't you tell me about those, because you're on the tour.
Well, I am, and we have 4 homes that we're featuring. Mine is one of them. I've lived in my home for 34 years, and so I think mine's a really good example of how a landscape, how a garden can change with the times, because I've had kids there, we've entertained there, and it's seen an interesting transformation over the years. And one thing we're going to feature at my home is I'll be doing presentations, probably about 5 presentations throughout the day, on adaptive gardening and tools and techniques so that you can garden in your later years. I'm in my later years, right? Hopefully sooner than later, but we want to keep gardening. We want to be able to stay active and mobile, so we're gonna tell people about that. Now, okay, so we're gonna walk around this garden in just a little bit, but just from what I see here right now, I really understand why they called Jane Hebert the Artful Gardener. She's really got it going on.
She really does. This is a fantastic garden. There's old barns, there's raised vegetable beds, she's got lots of native plants, there's a path that walks you through the woods, and she's got lots of garden art and beautiful structure. The bones of the garden is what really makes you appreciate the foliage.
Right.
You know, like this is gorgeous.
Right.
So this is a great garden.
Right. All right, Renee, so what are we featuring in Jane's garden?
Well, Jane was an art teacher for years. So like we said, she's got lots of beautiful things that are hardscape and structure. She has a beautiful muscadine vine growing over there. But when you look around, I don't see a fence.
Yeah, what, so we're in a real serious wooded area.
Yes.
What'd she do about deer?
Well, so Jane decided a few years ago she was going to beat the deer and the squirrels. So she came up with a contraption to protect her tomatoes, and it worked.
Sounds like a great time, the entire garden tour, and a great way to spend the day with Mom. How do we buy tickets?
You can go to our website. It is cobbmastergardeners.com. We just did a huge facelift on the website, and it is so interactive and easy to use. You can buy tickets right on the website. They're $15. The day of the tour, they're $20. So you'll save $5 if you go ahead and buy them online. And children 17 and under are free. No pets, unless they're service animals.
Right,
you know.
right.
But yeah, grab Mom, come on out and enjoy the day.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to have a lot of visitors at my home, I hope. And I'll, you know, hopefully give them a chance to see some things they haven't seen before and learn some things. Any particular tips for people who come to visit homes on the tour?
Well, one thing like we talked about, if it rains, you know, just kind of prepare yourself with the rain jacket or whatever, and wear comfortable shoes. That's important. Because some gardens they have walking paths and stairs and things like that. The gardens are not wheelchair accessible, so keep that in mind.
Right. Okay, now buying tickets, back to that. Do you save money if you buy in advance?
$5.
Okay.
$15 online.
Okay.
$20 the day of.
Okay, great, great. Now, I really like that our tours have more to show than just pretty gardens. You know, it shows the blood, sweat, and tears that we master gardeners go through to you know, get our landscapes in shape and to manage them effectively. So, master gardeners, how many of them do we have in Cobb County now?
We have right at 300 master gardeners in Cobb County. Last year, 2017, the Cobb County Master Gardeners volunteered over 22,000 hours. Wow. And that, when you do the math for the in-kind dollars, that comes up to about, when you add the mileage in, $575,000 worth of in-kind dollars that the Master Gardeners gave to Cobb County.
Wow.
So we're a very dedicated group.
So how many employees would the county have to hire to do the work that we do?
Oh my goodness, you'd have to do the math, but I think it's 21, 22.
Wow.
Something like that. Cobb County Master Gardeners are awesome.
So, Cobb County, we're giving you a great freebie here.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Well, I am proud to say that I'm in my 10th year as a Master Gardener in Cobb County, and it was really a special thing to me. I remember years ago when I was doing this show called Groundbreakers on HGTV, and I went to the old Southeastern Flower Show. And I went to an exhibit with Master Gardeners, didn't really know anything about Master Gardeners, and this seasoned Master Gardener came up to me and she said, I really think you're doing a good job. And when I heard that from a master gardener, I knew I had arrived. That was it. So that's why I'm really proud to be a master gardener. So has the application process changed at all?
It probably has changed a little bit. It's probably easier to get your hands on the application. Back 10 years ago when I went through the Master Gardener program, you know, I called, I said I was interested. They mailed out the applications once, and you just had to wait until they mailed out those applications. Now you can go to cobbmastergardeners.com and click on it'll be on the front page about the first week in July, and you'll be able to click on there, get the PDF, print off the application, fill it out, and get it back to me. If someone wants to fill out an application and they do not have a printer, all they have to do is call me or come by the office and I will give them one. So they can call me at Extension.
Okay, cobbmastergardeners.com, that's a really new, cool website. So you gotta check that out. When's the next Master Gardener class?
The next Master Gardener class will start January of 2019, and the classes are at DeKalb County Extension because we partner with 3 or 4 other counties to teach. So we're teaching 80, 85 people every year to become Master Gardeners, some in Cobb, some in Fulton, Gwinnett, DeKalb, Clayton. And it's easier for the professors from UGA to get to us to teach in DeKalb County because it's right off the interstate. So the Cobb County Master Gardeners carpool. So it becomes a really cool thing just to carpool. You make new friends. So if you go to that website, it'll give you all the information about the first week in July.
Right. Well, one thing I found out right away, becoming a Master Gardener is no joke because you're talking about professors from UGA. I hadn't been in a classroom for 30-some years, okay? And all of a sudden, the stuff that I could have cared less about in high school, the entomology, biology, plant physiology, I was like, oh no. But you know what? I think I got a 90 something on the final exam.
Good.
So because you're older, I think you focus better.
Well, and you're learning, when people choose to go through the Master Gardener program, you're learning something that you're passionate about, you know. And the training is every Wednesday, all day for 3 months.
Right.
So it is college level learning. But it's fabulous. Like you see these ladies back here.
Right.
They want that post gone. So they showed up with a battery operated reciprocating saw, and 3 of them are down there getting that post out of the ground.
They're dedicated.
They'll probably go to lunch after.
I heard somebody scream behind me. I hope
That's
everybody's
right.
okay.
It worked.
Okay.
I think they just broke the wood.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. All right, we've got another event coming up here. We can't forget to tell people about the upcoming garden fair and plant sale.
That's right. And that is before our garden tour. It is Friday and Saturday, April the 20th and 21st. I'm so excited about it this year. We have 55 vendors coming. It's going to be at East Cobb Park. Folks will park at the East Cobb Wellstar building and we'll shuttle them down. And there will be everything from homemade toffee to pastas. Somebody will be there that makes hypertufa. There's all kind of yard art and plants and herbs. But on top of that, the Cobb County Master Gardeners are digging up their plants and separating them because, you know, gardening is the gift that keeps on giving.
Right.
You plant 1 iris and 5 years later you have 30, so you dig them up and you share. So they dig up their plants and pot them and we sell them, and that's how we make our money, so we have funds to put back into the community and our project.
So that's why it's such a big deal.
It's really a big deal.
Yeah. Tell me about the plants a little bit. What kind of plants can people expect to see? The seasonal varieties? Or?
We don't sell annuals.
Okay.
There may be a vendor that may have some annuals, but the Master Gardeners mostly are selling perennials that keep spreading, and we can dig them up and give them, donate them, and then when they're sold, you know, those funds go back in for what we've talked about. But it's mostly things that will grow year after year.
Okay.
And we have instructions on that plant. We can tell you if it needs to be planted in sun or shade. And another important thing that that needs to be talked about, and it'll probably be talked about a lot at both places, at the plant sale and at the garden tour, is doing a soil test just to make sure that your pH is correct. If you're trying to grow blueberries, which the A-Bears have a beautiful blueberry patch here, and we see how gorgeous they are.
Right.
Your pH needs to be different.
Right.
So you don't plant blueberries and figs side by side because the pH needs to be different.
Right, and that red clay just isn't going to cut the mustard.
So that's the educational part of it. The cool thing about the Master Gardener Tour in Cobb County is it's home gardens that they're not a checkbook garden. They don't hire some expensive landscaper to come take care of their garden. Okay, they're out there digging, planting, watering, pruning theirself. So our goal is to teach, because that is our ultimate goal,
right,
to educate our community about how they can do some things in their yard fairly inexpensively and make their home look better and feel better.
Okay, now back to the plant fair. Is there any kind of admission?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
And weather a factor?
Rain and shine.
We don't play. We're gardeners, right?
We're
okay. All right. All right. Now these events sound pretty big, you know, and they are. How do we go about, you know, managing all of that? I mean, you've got a pretty big job because you've got to keep everybody in line and crack the whip. And
you know, I'm really good at delegating.
You are.
And the Master Gardeners are so dedicated, you know. You can find all the information on the website. The location, the times, the price, again, you know, everything is on that website.
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you all soon. So thanks, Renee.
Well, as you can see, I am putting in this wine bottle border in this garden. Thank you for joining us today for the Extension Network. You can call the Extension at 770-528-4070, or you can go to our websites. Thank you very much. Hope to see you at our garden tour.
The land-grant university system was created to advance agricultural and mechanical sciences 150 plus years ago. And we realized that some of the research that was coming from out of the land grants, it was not reaching the people. So the Smith-Lever Act was passed 100 years ago. The purpose of that act was to create the Cooperative Extension Service, which was to take the research that was created by the land-grant universities and actually give it to the people who could use it.
And so that was the genesis for the creation of the Extension Service, or the Cooperative Extension Service, as it was called at that time. It was to take the research-based information from the university, from that land-grant school, and get it to the people who need it so that they could use it to improve their lives, their economy, and to improve agriculture.
Well, I lived on a farm until I went off to be in the Navy and to go to college. And my father was a very fine and aggressive farmer. And of course, the source of our advice when Daddy wanted to do something better or learn about a new species of peanut or cotton or corn was to go to the Extension Service. And they gave him whatever advice he needed. And it was just like a constant source of inspiration and advice and counsel and sometimes correction when he was doing something wrong. And as I grew older and when I came back from the Navy and spent the next 17 years as a full-time farmer, I saw firsthand the great value of what the Extension Service offered to everyone in our county, not just farmers, but everybody in the merchants and others who did business with farmers and depended on agricultural income.
My earliest experience with the Cooperative Extension Service came as a result of joining the 4-H Club when I was probably in a middle school age group. They encouraged us to participate in competitions, and we had to learn our various project areas and make presentations in the local and the district competitions. And also, I began to show livestock as a part of my 4-H project and continued to do that for a number of years. So the Cooperative Extension Service and its supervision of 4-H was an important part of my younger years.
I serve Fulton County. It's a large county. We don't have that many farmers, but we have a lot of people. And we have a lot of families that just simply need help. So Extension brings that human touch to our community. We answer the questions directly. We give it to you in a manner that you can understand and you can use, and you can apply it immediately. So Extension is kind of like that friend next door. You may not talk to them every day, but you're really glad that they're there.
One of the advantages that we have is that we're always on the cutting edge of the newest information, the newest research that's coming out of the University of Georgia. And we are a direct source that our clients can come to find that information. We're a filter for that information, and we are able to explain it in a way that people can use it for practical everyday application, whether it's on the farm, in their families, or in their communities.
An increasingly important element of Georgia's and in America's total production of food will have to be designed toward meeting the needs of our own country and other nations more than it has been in the past. So I think the gamut of influence of Extension Service, I don't think has been minimized in recent modern days, but I think the opportunities to expand their influence has been greatly increased now and I believe in the future.
I think the future for cooperative extension across the nation is very strong, and I know in our state it is.
The simple problems in agriculture have been solved, and they've been solved for the last 100 years or so. Only complex problems remain. Our researchers on our land-grant universities working in multidisciplinary teams will provide solutions for these complex and complicated problems. But how you transfer that information back to the farmer, back to the agribusiness, back to the family or the youth development specialists through 4-H is going to be very different. That's where cooperative extension has always been good. That's what their strength is, and that's where we see them being so important in the future.
We're continuing to see evolution in the production of agricultural products, and I expect that to continue. We will probably have fewer farms, but larger farms. And the Cooperative Extension Service certainly has a role to play in that new structure. They've adapted very well to the changing circumstances and the changing economy of our country over the last 100 years, and I have every reason to believe that they will continue to do that here in Georgia for the next 100 years.
The most rewarding part of my job is being able to help people and provide current research-based information for our clients. They come to us over and over for that information because they see us as the #1 source of information that they can rely upon, whether it's for their farm, their agribusiness, or for their families.
Real life changes. Extension brings real life changes, and being that agent in the community on the ground, being that agent to serve is a pretty miraculous thing.
In all the ways that I had an early developmental life in earning a living and learning how to live as a productive citizen, I would say the Extension Service had a major beneficial effect on me.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until there's no secret that makes you smile. Reliable sources say that chicken soup has found their way out of this dangerous, but they are returned.
getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Today is Saturday. Today is Saturday. Yeah. Salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, throw a ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, swap a snack Sunday. All the healthy children eat well and move a lot. And move a lot. And move a lot. Eat well and move a lot. 60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day. Skip a rope Saturday, freeze tag Friday, tap dance Thursday. Whole grains Wednesday, try a veggie Tuesday. Let's move Monday, split the sweet Sunday. Eat well and move a lot. Today is Saturday. Yeah. Today is Saturday. All the healthy children, all the healthy children. Get ideas. Get involved. Get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him opening his own clothing store at the age of 18? 1 in 138,000. Excited to be a part of pop culture, he packed for the big city. The odds of finding someone to invest in his vision? 1 in 4.5 million. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1,000,000. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.